The Vactor. Where else but Vactor can you find the most efficient pneumatic cleaning and jet rotting equipment available? Built from the ground up, the Vactor is clearly the culmination of more than 40 years in the sewer and catch basin industry. Today's Vactor is safer, more technologically superior, and easier to operate than ever before. As the operator of a new Vactor, several steps are critical to ensure its superior performance and dependability. First of all, remember to regularly review and familiarize yourself with the operations and safety manuals provided with your unit. Be sure to check all of the unit's fluids. This includes water and oil levels of the chassis engine and the auxiliary engine. Be sure to check for proper oil level in the hydraulic sight gauge. Look for leaks and check tires for proper inflation. Secondly, before arriving at the work site, make a visual inspection of all key systems and fill your unit's fresh water tank. Remember to flush the hydrant's lines until the water is clear before filling the tank. This will keep your unit's water tank free of rust for longer life and durability. Be sure to follow your city or state guidelines for proper flushing procedure. Remove the water fill hose from its compartment and securely attach it to the hydrant. Turn on the water. As all the tanks will fill from the same tank, there is no need to fill each tank separately. Turn off the water and detach the fill hose from the hydrant. Drain the excess water from the hose and return it to the stowed position. At the work site, position the Vactor properly. Remember, when cleaning catch basins, it's essential to position the unit's vacuum hose nozzle directly over the manhole. The jet rotter hose should hang straight down so it doesn't scrape against the side of the inlet. For safety purposes, set your emergency brake. Activate all rotating lights and flashers, aero boards and disability lights before exiting the truck cab. Leave the truck engine on so it can power the rotor pump. Next, activate the Vactor's hydraulic pump. This is used to supply oil to the Vactor system and operate the unit's hose reel and truck hoist systems. If the truck chassis is equipped with a manual transmission, place the parking brake in the engage position. Press in the clutch and move the PTO, also referred to as the power takeoff mechanism switch, from the out to the in position. Then release the clutch. At this point, the PTO's red light is on, indicating that the engaged power takeoff gears are rotating and powering the hydraulic pump. If the Vactor has an automatic transmission, set the parking brake while the transmission is in neutral. Apply pressure to the standard brakes and put the truck transmission into drive. Then move the PTO to the on position to engage the hydraulic pump. Now, shift the transmission back to neutral. This action will disengage the automatic transmission and leave the PTO engaged. If you operate a positive displacement machine, continue to view this video and go to the Options section to see how to properly engage the positive displacement blower. Following the hydraulic pump startup, you're ready to start the vacuum system, which is powered by the auxiliary engine. First, be certain the auxiliary engine clutch is disengaged from the transmission. The long lever should be in the down position, away from the engine. Turn the ignition or key switch to the start position while holding the high-low override switch in the up position until oil pressure shows on the oil gauge. The engine will die out if the switch is released before the oil pressure shows in the gauge. To prevent damage to the starter motor, never hold down the start button for more than 15 seconds. If the engine will not start within 15 seconds, turn off the ignition and start the process again. With the auxiliary engine running, the hydraulic pump is free to supply hydraulic fluid to all boom-related systems. You're now free to plug in the pendant control at the front end of the unit. This working tool allows the operator to position the overhead boom assembly where needed. It is highly recommended the water rotting hose be placed in the sewer line before connecting and lowering the vacuum pipe. The flexible hose guide with an attached nylon cord provides a valuable assist in lowering the sewer nozzle and directing it into the appropriate sewer line. The hose guide can also be positioned so it is half in and half out of the sewer line opening. This position helps protect the rotter hose from damage as it enters and is retrieved from the line during the rotting procedure. At no time should you operate the machine if there is a cut or tear in the plastic polyurethane cover of the high-pressure rotter hose. Never mend the hose using any menders or hose ends other than those supplied and recommended by Vactor. Because all jet rotting hoses have different dimensions and characteristics, the hose manufacturers have designed ends and menders specifically for that hose. Using any other menders or ends may result in damage to the equipment or even to the operator. With the rotter hose in position, let's turn to the operational controls of the Vactor's jet rotting system. These controls are located on the front end mounted hose reel. This is the water pressure gauge. This gauge shows in pounds per square inch at what level the high-pressure water pump is operating. The Vactor jet rotter should run from 2,000 to 3,000 psi, depending on the system your unit has been supplied with. The ball valves located on the front of the unit control the flow of water from the high-pressure rotter pump to the main rotter hose or the handgun system. Depending upon the position of the valves, one ball valve should be left in the open position at all times to allow a path for the water to flow in case the pump is accidentally turned on. Never turn the pump on with all ball valves closed. Damage to the pump, transmission, or engine can occur if the pump is turned on with all ball valves closed. The upper valve controls the water to the jet rotter system. When in the straight up and down position, it is in the on position. To activate the handgun when the high-pressure water system is on, follow this step-by-step procedure. 1. Deactivate the water pump by turning the switch, located on the left side, to the down or off position. 2. Turn the handgun lever to the on position and turn the jet rotting lever off or to the horizontal position. 3. Reactivate the water pump by moving the switch to the up or on position. For those models 1994 and older, the handgun system couplers are located at the front and rear of the unit. For 1995 models, the coupler is standard on the side. Never direct the handgun at another person because it runs at 600 psi and 20 gallons per minute. On the left side of the control panel, at the front end of the unit, you'll find a black knob called a flow control knob. This control knob adjusts the volume of hydraulic fluid flow to the hydraulic hose reel motor. This flow control allows the operator to adjust the speed of the rotting hose as it works its way into the sewer line. It also allows the operator to vary the rate of speed with which he retrieves the hose back onto the hose reel. The hose reel control panel is equipped with a red warning light. When on, this red light indicates that the pressure or the flow has been exceeded beyond the rated capacities. If the light comes on while operating, it could indicate you have a worn-out nozzle. When the red light comes on, reduce engine RPM until the light goes off. Do not continue to operate the water system when the red light is on. Now let's look at the vacuum cleaning operation of the Vactor. The first step involves lowering the proper length of the vacuum piping into the catch basin. Easy-to-handle over-centered quick clamps allow for efficient coupling of the vacuum pipe. It is very important to use the catch basin nozzle at the working end of the vacuum pipe assembly. The catch basin nozzle has a serrated steel end with holes drilled by design. This special design allows air to be drawn even when the end is partially immersed in water. The vacuum system on the Vactor is an air conveyance system. It is not a true vacuum system. Centrifugal compression design needs air to move material. When the nozzle is buried in water, a cavitation-type noise will be heard from the fan. In this circumstance, the Vactor's vacuum cleaning system will pull a column of water up to a limit and then pull no more. Consequently, it is of vital importance that you do not bury the nozzle. With both the water jet rotor and the vacuum cleaning systems now in position, return to the auxiliary engine control station to engage the fan system. First, increase the auxiliary engine throttle to above 1500 RPM. Then engage the clutch by pushing up on the clutch handle until you feel the fan start to turn and the engine RPMs start to drop. Then back off slightly on the handle until the RPMs increase again. Then push the clutch handle up again until it snaps into position. Do not jam the clutch handle. At the same time, pull the throttle all the way out. Now your fan system is engaged. After engaging the clutch, advance the throttle to the full open position. Do not operate the engine below 1500 RPM with the fans engaged. Now let's move to the operating controls at the hose reel station. Activate the water pump, moving the switch to the up position. The indicator on the water pressure gauge will begin to increase. Turn the throttle on the hose reel panel out to establish proper operating pressure, which will be from 0 to 2000 or 2500 psi based on the water system supplied on that particular Vactor. Now begin feeding the rotor hose into the sewer line by pushing the lever control valve toward the hose reel. It is important that the rotor hose be fed into the sewer line in an against-the-flow direction. Then, when the working nozzle is retrieved from the sewer line, Loosened debris will return with the regular flow of the line. The speed with which the rotor hose travels through the sewer can be adjusted by rotating the black flow control knob located on the control panel. If the sewer line is tightly plugged, it's suggested you feed the hose into the line in increments of 25 to 30 feet. Then retrieve that length of hose and repeat the process. This routing procedure will help prevent the sewer line from plugging with debris behind the working nozzle and not allowing the debris to flow freely back to the manhole where it can be vacuumed up. To retrieve the rotor hose, reverse the direction of the lever control valve, pulling it down or away from the hose reel assembly. It is important the water routing pressure be maintained during this step because the working nozzle is still cleaning as it's being retrieved from the sewer line. To prevent excess water spray and possible damage to the nozzle during hose retrieval, sharply reduce the water pressure as the nozzle approaches the entrance to the sewer line. To do this, turn the throttle control all the way in to reduce the RPMs on the chassis engine. You can now turn off the high-pressure water pump by pushing the switch to the off or down position. To provide the final cleanup of the manhole, use the Vactor's efficient high-pressure handgun cleaning system. You'll find a quick coupler connect located on the lower left side of the front end control panel. To activate this system, follow this step-by-step procedure. 1. Turn the front handgun ball valve to the vertical or on position. 2. Then turn the jet rotor ball valve, located above the handgun valve, to the off position, parallel with the handgun valve. 3. Now turn the rotor switch to the on position and adjust the throttle RPM to a maximum of 600 psi for handgun pressure. You're now ready to proceed. For operator safety, the handgun system has a relief valve that will activate at 600 psi. For safety purposes, never attempt to overspeed the high-pressure water pump beyond the 600 psi level. During operation, periodically check the debris box float control indicator for proper level of debris in the unit's debris body. An overfill of water and debris will cause waste material to pass through the unit's air conveying system and out into the atmosphere. Should this happen, follow instructions in the maintenance manual for cleaning fan or fans. When cleaning is completed, retrieve the rotor hose back into the hose reel. The rotor hose wind guide helps ensure a uniform distribution of the hose back onto the reel. When the vacuum operation is complete, it's very important to clear the vacuum tube prior to shutdown of the vacuum system. Regardless of the type of vacuum system you have on your unit, single stage, two-stage, or PD, raise the boom high enough to be clear of any material. Allow the system to run 1 to 2 minutes with free air. This will clear any material that might still be in the vacuum tube. Reduce engine RPM. Disengage the vacuum system by pulling the clutch lever down. Reattach the vacuum tube to the front bumper-mounted storage plate before moving the truck. Be sure to look for any obstruction above the boom that may hamper its operation. Do not drive the truck with the boom in any other position but its properly stowed position. To allow for longer sewer cleaning before dumping debris, use the drain system located on the back door of the debris box. By simply unfurling the blue nylon drain hose, water in the debris chamber can be drained back down into the manhole. Drain off excess liquid prior to taking the unit to the dump site by using the blue nylon drain hose on the door of the Vactor's debris body. If necessary, move the unit forward to allow the hose to be unfurled and dropped straight down into the manhole. Always disengage the PTO prior to moving the vehicle. This will prevent damage to the transmission. Never drive the unit with the PTO engaged. If the debris body is less than 1/2 full, you may need to raise the debris body to aid in the excess water dumping operation. Remember to engage the PTO as previously instructed to give hydraulic power to the debris box mechanism. At the dump site, locate a level and relatively dry area for easy entrance and exit. When properly positioned, engage the emergency brake and PTO. Activate the unit's vacuum system to prevent premature spillage of contents. Maintain the vacuum at maximum governed speed with the vacuum tube still securely attached to the front bumper storage plate. This will create an effective vacuum in the debris body, holding the rear door tight. Now you can use the debris body hoist to assist in dumping the debris. Elevate the box to the maximum dump angle. If the Vactor is equipped with a debris body flush-out system, it is activated by the following procedure. Close the jet rotor valve and the handgun valve and open the debris body flush-out valve at the back of the unit. Engage the hydraulic pump and turn on the water pump. Adjust the engine RPM for desired pressure and maintain the RPM while dumping or cleaning the debris body. When washing is completed, reduce the engine RPM and turn off the water pump and close the ball valve for the debris washout system. Over the long term, the benefits of keeping your jet rotor Vactor clean and well maintained cannot be overstated. Attention to safety, superior performance, and long-standing dependability are the hallmarks of all Vactor products. Use this video presentation as a supplement, not as a replacement of your operations and safety manuals. Regularly review them, and in the long run, we're convinced you'll find today's Vactor safer, more technologically superior, and more reliable than ever before. Please continue viewing this tape for operation of various options. Air purge system. The air purge system uses the truck's air compressor to blow residual water out of the high-pressure water system. This is accomplished through the use of a separate air tank. Prior to operating the air purge system, it is very important that you remove any nozzle from the end of the rotor hose. The air purge system is more efficient without a nozzle on the end of the hose. Once this has been accomplished, simply open the ball valve marked Fill Reservoir. Allow the air pressure to build up in the tank to the desired pressure, maximum 120 psi. Close the fill reservoir ball valve. Open the ball valve for the rotor hose and the handgun. Open the ball valve marked Purge System. This procedure may need to be repeated several times to ensure all of the water is being purged from the system. Accumulator system. The accumulator system eliminates the jet rotor jackhammer action of the rotor pump. The accumulator system gives a smooth flow of the hose that is required in some applications, such as using a saw attachment or pulling a television camera. The water pressure must be above 1400 psi before the accumulator has any effect on the system. To operate the accumulator system, simply open the ball valve on the operator control panel located on the passenger side of the truck. Telescoping rotating hose reel. The telescoping rotating hose reel extends a maximum 15 inches from the truck chassis and rotates a full 270 degrees. This allows the operator to work in maximum safety from both sides of the reel at the front end of the truck. The telescoping feature also provides easier chassis engine access for inspection and maintenance. The dual control panel, located on both sides of the reel, permits total operation of all functions. To operate the telescoping rotating hose reel, simply touch the extension and retraction switch up or down. To rotate, turn the hose reel lock switch to the off position. The auxiliary engine must be running to provide hydraulic power to extend the hose reel. Telescoping extendable boom. The telescoping and extendable boom options allow the operator to clean hard-to-reach areas. In its telescoped position, the boom offers a reach of up to 23 feet from the center line of the chassis and an additional 474 square feet of boom coverage. A 7-button pendant control is supplied with a telescoping extendable boom to operate all boom functions. The control plugs in at the front end of the hose reel. It allows you maximum directional and length control of your extendable and telescoping booms. The red kill button overrides all electrical commands and halts the operation of the boom. Joystick control. An additional option to the boom circuit is the joystick control. This option is in addition to the pendant control. It does not take the place of the pendant control. It allows the operator to have full control of the boom while standing at the hose reel. Simply move the control stick in the direction you want the boom to move, up, down, right, or left. The extend or retract control of the boom is handled through a toggle switch located next to the joystick. Hold the switch up to extend or down to retract the boom. The switch automatically returns to a neutral position when released, locking the boom in the desired position. Multi-flow system. The multi-flow system is designed to vary the flow and pressure of the jet rotor system by a simple turn of a knob and the change of the nozzle being used. When using the multi-flow system, the operator must first determine the flow he wants to use. The flow is determined by the size of the orifice in the nozzle. See the operator's manual for proper nozzle sizing. Engagement of positive displacement blower. To engage the positive displacement machine blower, be sure the parking brake is engaged. Then shift the transmission to neutral if it is not already there. Engage the hydraulic pump and disengage the rear axle. Push the lever up to turn the light on. Then engage the blower. Push the lever up so the light goes on. You can now shift the transmission into high gear. To gain access to the chassis engine, the hose reel can be tipped forward. Simply remove the locking studs from each side of the reel . The control knob on the far right side is a diverter valve. When pushed in, it diverts hydraulic fluid to the motor for hose reel rotation. When in the out position, the valve diverts hydraulic fluid to the built-in tip cylinder on the reel to allow the hose reel to be lowered and raised hydraulically to gain access to the chassis engine. To relocate and lock the reel, simply reverse the process. Today's Vactor has evolved into the industry's most reliable and productive sewer and catch basin cleaner. Each component is designed to maximize performance with a minimum amount of maintenance. By performing these simple maintenance procedures, your Vactor will deliver unmatched safety and performance for years to come. The following maintenance procedures should be performed on a daily or weekly basis. Please refer to the maintenance section of your manual for the frequency of each procedure. The water intake filter or Y strainer. The water intake filter or Y strainer should be checked daily. Loosen the lock nut and square head set screw. Then remove the cover clamp and cover. Remove the screen and inspect the screen for damage, holes in the screen, any deterioration, dirt, or contamination in the screen. Replace any screen that is damaged or shows any deterioration. If no damage is found, clean and reinstall the screen. Before reinstalling the cover, check to make sure that both gaskets are in place. One gasket seals the cover to the housing. The other gasket seals the cover to the filter. Both gaskets must be in place for proper performance of the filter. Reinstall the cover clamp and tighten the square head set screw and lock nut. Please note that some units may have more than one filter, and the filters may be different sizes. This procedure must be done for each filter. If the unit is to be operated in sub-freezing temperatures, leave the filter out until the unit is going to be filled with water. This will prevent water freezing in the filter housing. Check your operator's manual for cold weather operation and proper draining procedures. Draining and flushing the rotor pump. The rotor pump should be drained and flushed at least once a week, more often if reused water or poor quality water is being used. There are two drain plugs located on the bottom of the pump. One is in the water end block and one is in the center block of the pump. Remove both drain plugs. Start the engine, engage the PTO as previously instructed, turn on the rotor pump, and operate the pump at idle RPM for 1 to 2 minutes. This will expel any sediment that may have gotten through the filter and be in the pump. Turn off the rotor pump and reinstall the drain plugs. Cleaning the fan. It is almost impossible to prevent some material from being carried over into the fan system. We therefore recommend that each fan be cleaned at least once a week. Remove the 2-inch drain plug from the drain pipe. Connect the handgun and turn on the rotor pump as previously shown. Make sure the auxiliary engine is not running and the clutch is disengaged. Remove the 3-inch washout plug from the housing. Insert the handgun nozzle into the washout port and begin washing the fan. The pressure of the water will rotate the fan so that all areas of the fan are washed. Material being washed from the fan will be expelled through the drain pipe. Be sure to inspect the fan for any excessive wear or damage. Report any damage to the fan to the proper authority in your organization. Once the fan is clean, reinstall the washout plug and the drain plug. Start the auxiliary engine and engage the clutch as previously shown. The free air will dry out the fan housing. Safety props. 2 safety props are standard on all Vactors. One is a debris body prop and the other is a rear door safety prop. Never work under the debris body or between the door and the debris body without the safety prop in position. Each safety prop is designed to prevent accidental closure of the rear door or accidental collapse of the debris body while any maintenance is being performed. Rear door prop. The rear door prop requires 2 people to properly install the prop. Unlock the rear door and raise the debris body. Remove the prop lock pin and lower the prop into position. Lower the debris body until the weight of the door holds the prop in position. Now the box can be lowered all the way without fear of the door closing accidentally. To remove the prop, simply raise the debris box all the way until the safety prop falls from its position. Lock the safety prop in its stowed position. Lower the box and lock the door. Debris body prop. The debris body prop only requires 1 person to properly position the prop. Simply raise the body high enough to allow the safety prop to be lowered into position. A pre-adjusted cable places the prop in the proper angle to catch the debris body. Now, lower the debris body until it rests on the prop. To remove the body prop, simply raise the body high enough to return the prop to its stowed position. Move the lever back and lower the debris body. Cleaning of the boom seal of a telescopic boom. Many times the boom seal will leak. This is usually caused by the operator shutting down the vacuum system with material still in the boom. Should this occur, raise the boom. Engage the fan and handgun systems as previously shown. Now wash the area of the boom seal with the handgun. At the same time, extend and retract the boom. This will allow clean air and water to be pulled through the seal and clean the area between the inner and outer boom tubes. Remember to raise the boom and allow clean air to clear the boom tube of any material prior to shutdown, and the seal won't leak. Shut down the handgun system and the vacuum system when you are sure the boom is clean. For comprehensive information of less frequently performed maintenance procedures, please refer to the appropriate section of your operator's manual. A minimum amount of maintenance and proper operation will keep you and your Vactor working at peak efficiency for a long time. Please refer to your Vactor manual for more detailed instructions on operation, maintenance, and troubleshooting your Vactor.